Hello my lovely mystic souls out there. This is Witchsea and I welcome you back to another video. Today, as you have already seen in the topic, we will discuss specifically about how to manifest your dream home. Now, for many of you working remotely, while this saying may be true that home is where the Wi-Fi is, it may not be for others. And then, I have seen in my clients and read about it too on forums etc. that many try to manifest a home for themselves for years. But they fail, and fail real bad. And even if they succeed, it happens that the home they buy using their hard-earned savings turns into one of their biggest nightmares. And the worst cases I have seen is one being stuck in their house and trying every means to get out of it, as though one was in a prison, not their home where one is supposed to be relaxed, feel at home and comfortable. So, today, in this video, we will look into some aspects one should keep in mind while manifesting their dream home, and things one must most definitely avoid. So, with that being said, let's begin today's video. Now, the very first thing you must know before you start manifesting anything, what kind of karma are you associated with that you must perform in this lifetime? Is the karma mutable or is it fixed? Now, how to know that? While the analysis will include many facets, there is a very simple, straightforward way to see it too. For this, you will need your horoscope. There are many free options available online. Go there, enter your birth details, and get your chart. In your chart, see what's in the fourth house. One of the things that the fourth house denotes is your land and physical property, and also your relation to that land or any physical assets you hold. The first thing to see is, what is the planet or what are the planets in case of multiple planets there in the fourth house? And the sign of the house. For precision, one might even consider seeing the nakshatra too. But we will discuss the nakshatra aspect in a later video. Also, here we aren't talking about dashas or mahadashas or antardashas or any trine or sextile to other planets or aspects etc. Here, we are talking of just what is there in your fourth house in terms of planets and zodiac. First, talking about the sign, is it a fixed or a mutable sign? If it's a fixed sign like Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius, then there are some karma related to that house you most definitely must perform in this lifetime. No escape. Even if you try to, you will still have to. The universe does have its way of bringing people to face situations that they must face based upon one's karmic records, and no matter how hard or smart you try, fooling the powers of universe isn't going to bring any good results. So, when you manifest something, if you're trying to go against the karma you are meant to experience here, it is not going to yield you any result. Or at least any good result. Now, one might argue upon law of attraction or spells cast or various laws we get to hear online, and say that they have the potential to alter one's reality. Because someone who has been super successful comes up and says so. But ask yourself, then how and why is it happening that while for a handful of people such techniques work, for a majority others these techniques are failing, even if they are doing everything right? Universe is no fool, and at times such attempts to escape one's karma could also mean paying a severe penalty too. So, be brave and embrace your life's journey. Who knows? Maybe you have a jackpot hidden for you at the end of the tunnel you are meant to walk. You are not getting it because you are busy being someone else. Instead of being inspired by your own life, you are looking for inspiration around the town. If the zodiac sign is mutable, you will still have to face your karma, but here, you may have an option to choose which one you will face or the degree to which you would be impacted by it or how you will face it, all based upon several other factors which would need further analysis. Now, suppose you have Taurus in your fourth house. Its ruling planet is Venus, that is Shukra. The planet exalted in the sign of Taurus is Moon, that is Chandra. Shukra or Venus is regarded as a feminine planet as per Bhrigu Parashar astrology. So is Moon. Also, both represents water. So, if you have Venus in the sign of Taurus or Moon in the sign of Taurus, one way of being successful with your manifestation of a house is manifesting it near a beach or a lake or any river body which has clear flowing water. You will see that within months your manifestation worked. The other thing to keep in mind is, if you are creating a vision board of your home or practicing the technique of visualization to manifest your home, visualize your home design, both interiors and exteriors and all facets of your home decor, in such a way that it either reminds you of your mother or has a beautiful worship place for a female deity. Or it's very soothing and nurturing, or very luxurious, or has a garden with many decorative flowering plants. Now, Venus is scholarly, secretive, and also competitive. So, while manifesting your home, be very secretive about your attempts. Tell others only when your house is in your possession and you've already moved into the house and started living in it. Also, you may be more successful in manifesting houses which are near offices or universities or coaching centers, or in places where the selection for a house owner is quite competitive, or you get a house at competitive rates from the market. Your dream home might be in the southeast direction from where you currently reside. Or, you will have a better luck with owning a house in the southeast direction from where you currently reside. Now, while Moon is neutral towards Venus and might even treat it as its equal, Venus treats the luminary Sun and Moon as its enemies. So, if you have Moon or Sun in the sign of Taurus, you may find some difficulties with your manifestation coming into fruition. With Moon in Taurus, where Chandra is exalted, it means you become very sensitive towards your environment. Extremely sensitive. So, when you start manifesting your home, let's say in metro cities, with this placement, here's an issue I have personally witnessed with such people. Any amount of noise from neighbors, any kind of comment made by neighbors towards them, or matters of disagreement happen within the neighborhood, such individuals get affected by it to a great extent. Now, these things affect anybody, but such individuals are more prone to break down from such incidents than others. Because, here, they are not just feeling their own pain, but somehow, they are also feeling the pain of others as if it was their own. Anything, even small things, happens at home or within their complex in which they live in, they feel like their whole world crumbling down and falling apart. The bull's horns pinches real bad at the soft buttery Moon here. And many times, it is these individuals who complain about various health issues only because of stress caused by others in their life, be it within their home or their neighborhood. So, if your other planets are strong, what happens is, unless facing such noisy neighbors or having these health issues is your karma, your manifestation attempts keep failing. And many times you will see that for individuals with this placement, your finances are not in place for you to buy your dream house. The loan doesn't get approved or some issues with money will be there. Now, where will you be successful in getting the Venus, the money to work with you in getting your dream house? Visualize an artistic and aesthetically pleasing house for you, either away from the hustle-bustle of the big city, or somewhere near an art museum or art gallery, or places where many creative people live or come for work purposes. You will be even more successful in owning your house if you tell yourself that I am going to turn my house into a homestay for artists arriving in my country. Or something like I will convert a part of my house as a hostel for students of art. And now see the magic. The other thing for you to do is either start surprising your mother with gifts, doesn't have to be expensive, focus on giving meaningful gifts, can even be a walk in her favorite garden. Or start working with a female deity. If all else holds well, within a short span you will be moving to your new house. Moon in Taurus desires stability, so any issues which disrupt that stability, like argument with husband, or house help not showing up on time, schedule changes, or relatives arriving on short or sudden notice, or neighbors ignoring you someday. Anything that disrupts what you define as your stable situation has the potential to trigger intense emotions within you, prompting a reaction. The key for you is to practice emotional balance, to learn to be emotionally stable even under triggering circumstances, to respond rather than react. So, working on the side of your shadow self, either through a book of shadows or any other means, might be essential before you manifest your dream home. Because if this is the karma you are meant to face, then you will see that no matter how hard you try, in every apartment or home you move to, you will find reasons to call your life miserable there. Another thing for you is, if possible, either buy the house in the name of your mother, or be a joint co-owner of the house along with your mother, or make the loan application in your mother's name and be a co-applicant there. You will see how quickly your finances would be arranged and a house would be manifested. Now moving on, if you have Sun in Taurus, it's the classic case of two bosses desiring ascension to one throne. Like the Game of Thrones. Here Venus is Daenerys. And Sun can be any prominent male character you wish to associate with from the series. Sun is the ruler of all the planets. Venus here desires to be the queen of the house. If you have watched any movies from Ottoman Empire's time, you may have observed that queens ruling the harems had and wielded greater power over the sultanate and could even turn the sultan who would actually be sitting on the throne as their pawns in their political battle. The case is quite similar here. The sun naturally wants to rule or even dominate the place wherever it sits. And so does Venus from wherever it sits in the chart, unless its powers are debilitated or it's in dead state or its effects have been minimized due to other planets and their respective positions. So, what happens here is, in majority of the cases, you would find that your notion of a good home may not match with that of your family. Or, your notion of a safe good neighborhood may be completely different from your neighbors. And problem would strike each time you would try to prove your point to others. Others would assume you are trying to be their boss, that you are trying to dominate over them or manipulate them, etc. And they will try to wield their soft or hard power back on you. When it comes to house hunting, you may come across various challenges. First in finding a good house in a good locality, then in financing it, and later while living in it. And if you love being in charge or being a decision maker, then things will only be complicated. Maybe your spouse could pick up an issue with a neighbor and hold you responsible for moving into the apartment and destroying their peace of mind. Or your parents may keep complaining about the construction of the house. Unless there are other planets supporting your fourth house, you will find yourself within this power war. So what you can do here is manifest your house away from any water body. Even if you feel inclined to purchase an apartment, it is recommended that you manifest an independent house. This way you are cutting down on the number of neighbors, thereby also eliminating some potential competition for yourself. If you would be moving into the house with your family and an independent house will not be possible, do this instead. Let's say you need a 2-bedroom house with kitchen and hall and 2 toilets for your family. Always then buy a 3-bedroom house. And have 1 room for yourself, entirely yourself. Invest in good quality soundproof systems. Decorate the room with beautiful energies of sun like having actual sunflower or marigold plants or their photos in it, or having the wall colored in light yellow color palette. Let it be your den. But let the others, your family members who would be living with you in that house, decide where the house must be purchased. This way, while you have your space, you make others feel as if they are in charge. If they fail to decide, let them surrender the decision power onto you by themselves. You don't ask for it. Remember, the less you try to control or dominate or directly assume the role of being in charge here, the more people will love and respect you. The more you will actually be in your power. An advice for you is to start learning how to wield soft power over others. Another thing to bear in mind is, never under any circumstances engage in a gossip about neighbors with anyone. Or never even engage in a gossip with neighbors about anyone else. This will weaken both your Sun and Venus. In case of community events, you might consider participating in them, but it is highly recommended that you do not assume any role of being in charge unless absolutely necessary or others ask for it and agree that way. Finally, if possible, get yourself a separate place away from your family, or you may consider getting 2 flats, perhaps even adjacent ones, in either the same or nearby apartments. My dear Mystic Souls, understanding that this is becoming quite a long discussion, I have decided to break it into parts. That's it in the first part. The remaining would be uploaded in other parts. And so, this will be like a video series. Now, if you need a detailed analysis about this topic in your personal case and need a personal consultation, then do check out the description box of this video. You will find the link to my Ko-fi page, through which you can consult me. And if you appreciated this information, you might even make a donation on the Ko-fi page. This will mean a lot to me. That's it for now, and remember to subscribe to my channel so that once new videos are out, they reach out to you. Stay tuned for the remaining parts. Until then, take care, love you. See you again.